Bookworms, welcome to the Weekend Readers Book Club. Thank you for joining us. In this episode, we are discussing the debut novel of Dan Brown entitled Digital Fortress. Now, as I said in my last episode, when saying Digital Fortress was the next book to read, this was released. I don't know if it was written, but it was released pre-Angels and Demons and the Robert Langdon story. This story doesn't have Robert Langdon or any of the characters from the Angels and Demons Da Vinci Code. This is a standalone story by itself. Now, Digital Fortress is, I'm going to say, it's a technology thriller, if that makes sense. You have two stories running parallel at the same time that are intertwined with each other, going back and forth across two parts of the world. One part being the USA and one part being based in Spain. So the two main characters, Susan, she is an NSA agent. She is here in America. David Becker, which is her fiance, he is a college university teacher, and he has traveled from the US to Spain on behalf of the general of the NSA. Susan's job at the NSA, she deciphers technology. She's a not a crypto bro, but what's it called? It's where you get codes and you have to decipher it. She's a cryptologist. I feel I've butchered that word, but she works in a department where she can view it all, deciphers it all, and they have a big ass machine that assists them to do it, which is worth billions and billions and billions of dollars. However, somebody has put a virus in there, and the virus is about to suck up all the national secrets from the NSA, except the only way to stop the virus is to get the passcode, and the passcode is on somebody in Spain, and that's where David Becker comes in, because David Becker has to try and find the passcode to give it back to his wife, and then they can stop the virus from destroying the NSA. Did that make sense? I hope it did, because that was the gist of the book, without giving all the subplots and the subpoints and the crazy stuff that happens in this book away. That's the gist of the book. One person's trying to save the country, another person is trying to get the password so his significant other can save the country. NSA, America, hell yeah. So I've read the book, and the book is alarming on two reasons for me. One, if there is a hint of truth to this book, damn, like, we have no privacy whatsoever with our electronic data. Like, I get that, there are tools and people use the data, they sell it off, and then the people, resell it and whatever else. But the way in which Dan Brown writes the NSA part was amazing and alarming and just spooky from a perspective of, if there was 1% truth to that, holy crap. The second alarming thing with this book is absolutely amazing. I don't know if I was, when you pick up a book and you read it and you just, you don't care how far into the book you are, you're just continuously reading and reading and reading, and then when you come close to the end, you're really disappointed because the story is finishing. That's how I felt about Dan Brown's Digital Fortress. I wanted a hell of a lot more. Where that more could have fit in, I don't know, because you get a hell of a lot of story with Digital Fortress in the book, but I found myself going, oh man, I wish the story didn't end. I absolutely loved this story. I will say, though, the one thing that I found myself was the technical side of it in relation to like the cryptograph and what she does, what like Susan does, and what Susan uses to decipher the information and the explanation behind all the crypto technology for decoding secrets that are flying all over the interweb. Some of that did go completely over my head. Just the terminology and what they explain or how they explain stuff, but I got the general gist of it. Like, the book isn't too heavy and it is very easy to read, similar to a Dan Brown Angels and Demons or Da Vinci Code book. However, there were just parts of it where I get why he was explaining or using the terminology. I'm just not that smart, and so what he's used has gone over my head. But yeah, I absolutely loved Dan Brown Digital Fortress. It was amazing. It was a great read, and it was a great introduction to Dan Brown over and above like what people know him from, which is Angels and Demons and the Da Vinci Code and whatnot. So the question is, will Digital Fortress by Dan Brown be going onto my bookshelf? The answer is hell yes. I have also got a copy of his second standalone book that I am potentially going to read as well. I've got that in my pile to read because, damn, Digital Fortress was a hell of a lot of fun, and I would highly recommend it if you haven't read it. And a technology thriller, chase story is up your alley. Give it a whirl. So as it customs here on the Weekend Readers Book Club, as one book closes, another book has to open, and it is now time to find out what the next read for the Weekend Readers Book Club is. And Bookworms, we can confirm the next read is Hannibal Rising by Thomas Harris. Yes, I have managed to pick up a copy of Hannibal Rising through my library. I am excited for this. This has been said, they've said it's the origin story of Hannibal Lecter, so I'm looking forward to covering off all the craziness that he done to get thrown in jail or the mental asylum. I am looking forward to Hannibal Rising to hear the origin of the great Hannibal Lecter. So, Hannibal Rising by Thomas Harris, you are the next read for the Weekend Readers Book Club. I'm excited. So, Bookworms, that was our podcast today, my review and discussion of Digital Fortress by Dan Brown, a book I really loved. A book that, as I said, two parallel stories running together, a chase story, a whodunit. There's a virus in the NSA. We have to stop it. America's secrets are going to get out. What do we do? A little bit of spies, a little bit of espionage, a little bit of pew, pew, pew. It was very, very well written, well received. I followed it along very well, and as I said, I found myself at the very end wanting much more than what I got. But yeah, Dan Brown, Digital Fortress, from my opinion, a great read. So Bookworms, thank you for listening, and until next time, happy reading.